Reclaiming masculinity, why modern men are struggling and how to break free. Take a moment to observe the cultural landscape, and you might detect a noticeable shift. Many contemporary men appear markedly different from previous generations, where strength, assertiveness, and emotional stability once stood. We now frequently encounter indecision, emotional volatility, and reluctance to embrace authentic, healthy masculinity. This raises critical questions. Are men adopting more feminine traits? If so, what drives this transformation, and how does it affect both genders? For newcomers to this channel, I'm Anna Jensen, your guide to understanding modern women's psychology, helping quality men like you attract and maintain fulfilling relationships. Welcome to Just the Tip /N/N. Regrettably, fourth-wave feminism has fostered adversarial attitudes toward traditional masculinity, often portraying men as inherently problematic. This cultural emasculation harms everyone. Men lose their grounding, women face diminished partners, and society weakens. For those seeking deeper understanding, the Center for Male Psychology offers extensive resources on masculine psychology, no sponsorship affiliation. Let's explore 3 key factors driving this shift, /N/N1. The vilification of masculinity /N. For over a decade, mainstream narratives have aggressively framed masculinity itself as the enemy. Messages like, men are too aggressive, be softer, and toxic masculinity bombard society. When young men constantly hear their fundamental nature is flawed, they inevitably suppress the very qualities that foster personal power and attraction. This creates hesitant men afraid to lead, take risks, or establish boundaries, paralyzed by fear of being labeled controlling or problematic /N/N. Consider this scenario. A man naturally takes initiative planning a date but second-guesses himself, worrying his date will perceive confidence as dominance. Another wants to set relationship boundaries but fears appearing aggressive. The result? Passive men become easy targets for manipulative partners while repelling high-quality women. Society needs, and truly admirable women desire, men who respect themselves enough to embrace their healthy masculine core. Your challenge: identify where you've internalized anti-masculine conditioning and consciously reclaim your natural strengths. Practice decisive decision-making, set clear boundaries, and own your leadership capacity in daily life, /N/N2. Emotional processing versus purposeful action /N. While emotional awareness is healthy, modern culture often encourages men to obsess over feelings rather than take constructive action. Contemporary men frequently, /N, wallow in sadness rather than solve problems /N, retreat from anxiety instead of facing challenges /N, mistake endless venting for genuine emotional work /N. Compare this to previous generations. When your great-grandfather faced stress, he didn't blog about his feelings, he rebuilt the porch or fixed the car. Modern therapeutic culture, while well-intentioned, often forgets that real growth comes from combining emotional awareness with purposeful action. Remember, when women feel compelled to mother their partners, listening to constant complaints without seeing proactive change, romantic attraction inevitably dwindles. Your mission: balance emotional processing with tangible progress. Next time you feel stuck, channel that energy into one concrete action, a workout, career-building task, or step toward personal goals, /N/N3. The erosion of traditional male purpose /N. Modern society has dismantled many traditional markers of masculine identity, physical labor, family leadership, community protection, without replacing them with equally meaningful roles. Many men now drift without clear purpose, vulnerable to social media radicalization or apathy. This vacuum leaves men feeling unnecessary while depriving society of their unique strengths. The solution lies not in nostalgia for outdated gender roles, but in redefining masculine purpose for our era, perhaps through mentorship programs, craftsmanship revivals, or community leadership initiatives that channel male energy constructively. When thinking about masculine role models, consider the strong male figures you may have looked up to while growing up, such as fathers, grandfathers, or characters in movies and TV shows. These men were portrayed as responsible, strong, and admired by female characters. However, in today's world, many young men lack strong male role models. Modern media often portrays male characters as weak, while glorifying strong female characters. This can lead to confusion and doubt about masculinity. Some men may have grown up in homes without a strong male presence, or with passive male figures who did not exhibit traditional masculine traits. As a result, they may struggle to assert themselves, take risks, or lead confidently. Without positive male role models, individuals may either adopt softer traits praised by society or gravitate towards extreme and toxic masculine figures. It is important to seek out healthy male role models, learn from their examples, and surround yourself with men who inspire growth and positive masculinity. Comfort and convenience in modern life can lead to complacency and a lack of personal development. To counter this, it is crucial to step out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself, and engage in activities that promote physical and mental strength. Building skills, staying active, and seeking growth opportunities are essential for developing a strong sense of masculinity. Embracing challenges and striving for personal improvement are key aspects of rediscovering and nurturing healthy masculinity. It's essential to recognize that how you feel about confrontation can significantly impact your interactions. In the past, men often stood firm in their beliefs and faced conflicts head-on. However, many now tend to shy away from disagreements, which is understandable. Perhaps you found yourself in a situation where someone disrespected you, yet instead of addressing it, you chose to let it go. For instance, maybe a woman took advantage of your kindness, and out of fear of losing her, you remained silent. Or consider a scenario where a colleague publicly embarrassed you during a meeting, and you laughed it off to avoid confrontation. You might even convince yourself that this is a sign of spiritual maturity or being the bigger person. However, deep down, you know that you have let yourself down. This realization can be painful, but it's crucial to understand that this behavior is not a sign of strength, rather, it reflects a lack of confidence. True strength lies in how real men, yes, I use the term real men intentionally, handle conflict with assurance rather than avoidance. This doesn't mean you should respond with anger. Instead, it's more effective to deliver a calm yet assertive response while maintaining steady eye contact. Allowing others to walk all over you sends a clear message: I am not a leader, I am a follower. Regardless of what society may suggest, leaders naturally attract the type of women you desire, while followers do not. For example, imagine you're out on a date, and another man openly disrespects you with a rude comment or tries to assert dominance in front of your date. If you choose to ignore it or laugh it off awkwardly, she will notice and, on some level, lose respect for you. Ironically, you may end up losing more respect for yourself. Alternatively, consider a workplace scenario where your boss assigns you extra tasks at the last minute on a Friday, tasks that aren't even part of your responsibilities. Instead of standing your ground or setting boundaries, you simply nod and accept the additional workload. This behavior signals to everyone that you do not advocate for yourself. Women, as well as the world at large, respect men who recognize their value and assert it. If you fail to do so, you will always find yourself at the mercy of those who do. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to assert yourself. This week, try to set a boundary, say no to an unreasonable request, or calmly confront someone who disrespects you. Remember, the goal is not to be aggressive but to cultivate self-respect. Now, let's discuss the trend of passive dating behavior. I can recall a time when men understood the importance of pursuing women with confidence, without coming across as overly eager. Nowadays, however, many men seem to wait for women to make the first move. Here's the catch: the type of woman you desire does not need to chase after men. You might find yourself in a situation where you are constantly texting her, hesitant to ask her out, and hoping she will take the initiative. Worse yet, you might be settling for the minimal attention she offers instead of demanding the respect you deserve. The women you want are not attracted to passive, weak men, they seek leaders, not those who plead for attention. If you find yourself waiting for her to express interest, you are already at a disadvantage. For instance, you might text her every day, trying to keep the conversation alive, but she only responds with short, uninterested replies. Instead of taking the hint and moving on, you persist, hoping she will suddenly recognize your worth. Meanwhile, the guy who confidently asks her out and makes plans without hesitation is the one who captures her interest. Remember, you can be that guy. Or perhaps you are the type who waits for her to take the lead. When it comes to navigating relationships, it's essential to take ownership of your role in shaping the connection. Many men believe they're being considerate by letting the other person decide when to meet, what to do, or whether the relationship progresses. However, this approach unintentionally shifts all the decision-making power to her. Women often admire men who demonstrate clarity about their desires and the confidence to pursue them directly. Remember, I'm not dictating universal truths, I'm simply decoding patterns. If you want to build a meaningful connection, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to step into a leadership role. If there's someone you're interested in, ask her out openly and respectfully. Avoid prolonged text exchanges or waiting for her to make the first move. Confidence and intentional action are key. For example, instead of overthinking or hesitating, show up with a clear plan and genuine enthusiasm. This isn't about being domineering, it's about mutual respect through proactive engagement. Another critical shift many men face today is the growing dependency on external sources. Whether it's relying on parents for financial support, blaming societal structures for personal setbacks, or expecting handouts, this mindset can stall growth. Yes, modern challenges are undeniable, but focus on what you can control. Instead of adopting a victim mentality, blaming the system for lack of success, ask yourself, how can I improve my skills, habits, or mindset? For instance, if you feel the world is unfair, channel that energy into learning a new trade, building a savings fund, or developing resilience. No one will rescue you from stagnation, only you can reclaim agency. Your mission here is to identify one area in your life where you've leaned on others, finances, career, personal development, etc., and start taking charge. Growth begins when you stop waiting and start doing. Physical strength, once a cornerstone of masculinity, is increasingly overlooked in today's world. The average man today is less physically capable than his grandfather was. This isn't about body shaming, it's about recognizing how fitness impacts mental toughness, confidence, and practical ability. Whether you're single or in a relationship, your physical health shapes your happiness and capacity to handle life's demands. Imagine a scenario where you need to protect a loved one, move a heavy object, or simply keep up during an adventure, but your lack of strength leaves you breathless and ineffective. That's not just inconvenient, it's a threat to your self-respect and safety. Women, biologically, are drawn to men who inspire trust through capability. Consider this: my father wasn't the most conventionally attractive man, but his physical strength and work ethic made him a pillar of security for my mom. If you can't carry your own weight, how can you be expected to support a partner or family? Prioritize strength training, manual labor, or any physical activity that builds discipline and resilience. Lastly, the loss of independence is a quiet crisis for many modern men. Self-sufficiency, knowing how to cook, fix things, or manage daily responsibilities, isn't just practical, it's empowering. Yet, many men today struggle with basic life skills, relying on others for tasks they should handle themselves. This dependency erodes confidence and limits potential. Imagine needing to move a heavy item but calling a friend for help because you've neglected your own strength. While occasional assistance is fine, consistent reliance signals a lack of capability. Women notice this, too. They're naturally inclined to respect men who can navigate life independently. Your mission here is to master at least one skill you've been avoiding, whether it's cooking a meal, repairing a leak, or budgeting. These small victories build a foundation of self-reliance, which in turn strengthens your ability to lead in relationships and life. Start today. The path to confidence, respect, and fulfillment begins with taking control of your choices and actions. There are certain behaviors that can hinder a man's growth and independence, often referred to as mother mode. This is when an adult man still relies heavily on his mother for basic tasks, such as asking her how to boil an egg, or he finds himself unable to change a flat tire on an old vehicle without calling for roadside assistance. Even more concerning is when his idea of cooking revolves around ordering takeout every night, simply because he never took the time to learn how to prepare even one fundamental meal. Traditionally, cooking has been viewed as a feminine activity, but in reality, being able to take care of oneself is a vital masculine trait. Moreover, having a signature dish that you can prepare can be a great way to impress a partner. Now, let's consider this from a woman's perspective. She is often searching for a partner who can lead, provide for her, and navigate the challenges of life. However, if she encounters a man who appears helpless, it can be quite off-putting. Women tend to respect men who are capable, who can handle minor repairs around the house, and who can manage their finances wisely. It's important to note that I'm not suggesting that a man needs to be wealthy, but rather that he should be able to manage his resources effectively. Women appreciate men who can handle life's demands without needing constant assistance. If you struggle to take care of yourself, how can you expect to care for others, perhaps even a family in the future? Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to acquire at least one practical skill that enhances your independence. This could be learning to cook a meal from scratch, fixing something in your home, or mastering basic car maintenance for older vehicles. Being competent in these areas is undeniably attractive. Before I share the 10th point, which is quite common, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude. If you find this information valuable, please consider liking this video, sharing it with someone who might benefit from it, and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for being here, your support means a lot to me. Now, let's move on to point number 10, the tendency towards instant gratification. In today's world, both men and women often desire immediate results. In fact, it seems that everyone wants success without the effort that typically accompanies it. While women respect success, many individuals prefer not to put in the hard work required to achieve it. Life truly begins when you step outside your comfort zone. The influence of social media, fast food, and instant online entertainment has altered the way many men think, leading them to expect quick rewards without any effort. However, true masculinity is forged through struggle, discipline, and patience. For instance, when you see a man with an impressive physique, instead of putting in the effort to achieve similar results, you might find yourself complaining about his genetics. Similarly, when you observe a successful individual, rather than learning from their journey, you might dismiss their achievements as mere luck. These kinds of mindsets are detrimental to masculinity, they are excuses rather than truths. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to commit to a goal that requires delayed gratification, whether that's in fitness, acquiring a new skill, or achieving financial growth. Invest the effort now and trust the process, rather than seeking shortcuts. So, are men becoming more feminine? In some respects, yes, and this shift can have negative consequences, making it easier for women to manipulate men and compelling those who are more traditional to embrace their masculine energy to take care of themselves. Society has encouraged men to weaken themselves, suppress their masculinity, avoid challenges, and embrace a softer approach. However, the reality is that the women you desire do not seek out weak men. The world does not respect weakness, and deep down, you may not respect yourself when you feel weak. It's time to reclaim your authentic and healthy masculinity. How can you do this? By taking control of your life. Get strong, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Stop waiting for life to unfold and start taking proactive steps. Avoid shying away from conflict, instead, stand your ground. Move away from seeking comfort and begin to embrace the struggles that life presents. The world does not need more weakness. In today's world, there is a pressing need for strong, compassionate men who can lead, protect, and build a better future. These changes are not just beneficial for women, they ultimately serve you as well. The journey towards this transformation begins with you, right at this moment. So, which of the suggestions I've shared will you choose to act upon today? I encourage you to make a commitment by leaving a comment below. If you're looking for guidance on how to get started, I recommend my Wake Up to Love program. However, keep in mind that this program will only be effective if you are willing to put in the necessary effort, and there is indeed a lot of work to be done. For more details and to determine if this program is a good fit for you, please scan the QR code provided. Remember to be kind to yourself. You may not have been taught everything you needed to know, but you have the power to change the trajectory of your life and make the remainder of your life the best it can be. Society is counting on you, and I have faith in your potential. I am proud of you for taking this step. God bless.